We're in our team colours lah, basically lah. A lot to talk about, Casey. I think the first thing I want to start off is the Crystal Palace versus Liverpool game. So what were your thoughts about that game? Because Crystal Palace looked like they could have nicked it, but by the graces of the football gods, Liverpool came through once again. So what do you think?
It was definitely a very shaky game, and it's very anxious. We haven't seen a Liverpool game like that in a long time already. It's usually a lot of Liverpool controlling the game and they are like attacking, and I felt that Liverpool got quite lucky in several occasions with the mistakes by Spurs. The first one was actually a lucky deflection where Salah finished very, very well. If that didn't happen, I think the game would have stayed probably the same throughout. And then after that, you also had that Bobby Firmino one was a good goal, and then after that you got the Speroni one made a mistake, and then after that it went in. But I think this is the first time in a long time where we see another team coming over to Anfield and scoring 3 goals. This is the first time it's happened this season. So I mean, when people talk about Manchester City being like the clear winners in a sense, well, maybe now it's not so much, but I still feel like there's a bit of doubt whether Liverpool can confidently finish top or not. People always say that at first they're thinking that Liverpool is might probably win by 4 points or 7 points hopefully, but I have this unfortunate feeling that yes, it's probably going to come down to the wire.
Come down to the wire.
Well,
looking at the game also, I think like when the strikers the defense let the Liverpool team down.
Yes.
But when the attacking force of Liverpool needed to come through, and boy did they come through. I think that 4 goals over there proves like Liverpool's prowess up front also, if you ask me. Even though it was coming up against a Crystal Palace side, mid-table Crystal Palace side, but it was still like good show of character. I feel that Liverpool can pull something out of the head, because last week it was more towards like a smash and grab thing whereby they played badly but still got the result. Even 2 weeks ago, and this last week was the defenders weren't pulling their weight, but the strikers managed to get something out front, getting a 4-3 result. So
actually, funny thing about that is, yes, until now I think that the whole 90 minutes the defenders didn't play well. There was the last goal, if I'm not mistaken, we could have ended the game 4-2, but we brought this new defender Camacho just maybe to stretch him out a bit and to stretch the time. But then after that, when he failed to make a deflection or to block the shot that was coming in from Maya, I think that one I wanted to blame Camacho for it, but when you look back, I kind of felt like Van Dijk lost his man and he was just like walking back. So maybe again also when we felt that we were winning, the defense also kind of like don't care lah, and that worried me a bit. I think Liverpool should always focus on having a strong defense. But again also, when we talk about that whole 90 minutes, I think that the strikers played well for 45 minutes. The first half, to me, I wasn't impressed at all. I think we wasted so many chances, and again, I still feel like in a way it's very, very lucky win for us.
Well, Liverpool plays Leicester this Thursday.
Yes.
Liverpool play Leicester at 4 p.m. and the game on Saturday is on next Tuesday. Liverpool is playing West Ham. So I don't think it's a much more testing period right now for Liverpool, I feel.
Yes.
These 2 games can either, I think, even though it's against would say even lesser teams, but nonetheless still formidable opponents. So what do you think is going to happen in these next 2 games? Liverpool coming up against Leicester and also against West Ham.
When you say that it's going to be a testing period, I do agree. Maybe less so against West Ham, but more so against Leicester. It's because when you talk about the 6 points that Liverpool got courtesy of Manchester City slipping, these were against Crystal Palace and this was against Leicester. And so far, Liverpool managed to grind out the result against Crystal Palace, and now we're going to play against Leicester. So again, I think that we need to beat this guys because Leicester and Crystal Palace, they have the quality to beat the big teams as well. So again, of course, I'm just hoping that Leicester does not produce to the quality they did against Manchester City lah. But West Ham, and West Ham just beat Arsenal not too long ago, so that's very worrying.
Okay. One more thing we can talk about right now also is United's run of form also at this moment. 7 games on the trot. Another game in the bag. Looking at the Brighton game, I would safely say that there was cracks are beginning to show in the defense. It's not that it was always there. I felt it was the cracks in the defense was always there because United doesn't have, I would say, a very strong defensive partnership. Without the heroics of David De Gea, I think we would have been found out multiple times already. So do you think the next game United is going to play is on Wednesday against Burnley? and also on Sunday we're playing Leicester City. Do you think we can carry on that form?
That form, I think you can, but the thing is, it's going to be a matter of the players when can they show up or not. You know, they need to always come in week out. And again, I think Rashford is scoring like 4 games in a row now.
Yep.
Now, if Rashford doesn't score, do you have confidence that Martial will perform? Pogba definitely does bring in the goals as well, and or the assists. But again, I think that it's very slippery slope because once Manchester City lost, then they start to slip a bit. Once Liverpool lost, now you're starting to see that.
That's why I'm very worried. You know, like the confidence right now is sky high. I wish we can carry on. I hope we carry on this kind of performances right up till we play PSG, because that's where, you know, it's the biggest test of our season, playing against one of the top teams in Europe.
Yes.
I hope these next 2 games that we can at least come through what we're going through right now, and see what we can do with it. But but the looks of it right now, it's a bit shaky in the back, and I hope we actually come through with it. And maybe if we don't win comfortably, at least we grind out for a result. But the defense fragilities is beginning to show already for United, I feel.
Okay, but let me ask you this, because again, no matter how well Solskjaer is performing right now, he can even maybe go 20 games, you know, in a winning streak. But the moment you think that if he loses a game or draws against a small team, do you think that will start to, you know, unravel a lot?
That's what I'm afraid of right now, because United's team, I say the core team, is still not very, I would say, experienced in the sense that, you know, coming back from adversity, coming back through defeat, because it's very, very difficult. I would say very, very difficult. If we lose one, it could take like a minor miracle. I won't say a minor miracle, but it could take a while to regain that confidence again. But you know, like Solskjaer has proven us wrong quite a number of times already since he took over. But it's bound to lose. I think United is bound to lose one game at least. And I don't think we can carry on the stretching, because it will take a very optimistic, a very storybook, fairy tale kind of person to say we're going to win every game till the end of the season, because honestly speaking, that's not going to happen.
Well, you guys deserve the league next season now, if you guys manage that miracle.
Yeah, because I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to lose one game, I feel. I think it's going to come probably in the next few games or so. But it's a matter of bouncing back from that game. That shows the true tank of character, which I honestly can't see it in the United team yet. That's why I feel. Yeah. So that's why I think hopefully we get to carry on this form until we play PSG. But these next 2 games is basically, I won't say make or break, but it has to show a level of character already in the team, because the defense is beginning to show their weaknesses already in the side. Except for De Gea, the best goalkeeper in the world, the defense is beginning to show already.
I mean, I agree with you for that. And again, you were asking me about, you know, every game last time. I always said that in the previous podcast, I felt a bit anxious whenever we are on this winning streak, because what happens when we lose?
Yeah.
So again, now it's past that point already. So now you are feeling it.
Yeah.
You're winning every game. What happens when we lose now?
Yeah, that's the problem right now. Because when you have a momentum going, and suddenly when it hits you, to get on top of the bicycle once again, it kind of gets like a bit hard, I would say.
Again, but you guys are also playing Leicester.
Yes, we're playing Leicester this Sunday, and we're playing away at the King Power Stadium.
Wait, Liverpool is playing Leicester, or
United is playing Leicester also this Sunday, and Liverpool is playing Leicester on Thursday.
Thursday
at Anfield.
Okay.
So we're playing Leicester also as well, going to the King Power Stadium. I remember when Leicester, the year they won the league, you know, they ran raggeds through us with Jamie Vardy and Mahrez and N'Golo Kante. I don't think it will be the same this season.
You just have Vardy to worry about.
Yeah, and Vardy has not been the same since they won the league. So I think we have a chance of winning. We have a chance of winning. I think we'll win. I won't say we'll win comfortably this next 2 games, but it's winnable games. I would say it's winnable games. All right. Okay. So also one more thing that happened throughout the weekend. Jose Mourinho speaks. So yeah, what do you have to say about that?
I think that he had very, very interesting things to say. A lot of football philosophies, and I think that now, and this is the question I wanted to pose to you, watching a lot of the interview. Now, do you think that compared to other managers, especially with his reputation and him being like a Chelsea legend, he had a much more difficult time than any other manager would have had, in comparison?
some of the things, you see, like I was always a fan of Jose Mourinho in terms of winning stuff when he was at Chelsea, when it was Real Madrid, when it was Inter Milan, even in Porto. The guy's a proven winner. So some of the things that I said, oh, he parks the bus a lot, I said he doesn't give the youth a chance, is honestly it's blown out of proportion sometimes because maybe, okay, I think this time what's different is basically I think his tactics are a bit too old-fashioned, I would say, because if you see right now, the term total football already came back into the picture. What was there at the 80s and the 90s came back into the picture once again, whereby tactics just don't win you games sometimes. You need to play free-flowing football. And Mourinho, I don't think
He's good at that.
I don't think that's his strong point. He'll grind out results. Even that also to a point where, he coached a Chelsea side who scored 103 league goals in a single campaign. How can someone who bucks the bus scores that amount of goals? When he was at Real Madrid, so they scored close to 100 goals a game. So when he was at Inter Milan, they scored close to 100 goals. So like
something is not adding up there.
Yeah, I say like sometimes the media portrays United, Mourinho in a bit too negative, like where it's very unfair for him. Like okay, he said in the video like when the 2005-2006 FA Cup final,
yep.
United played Arsenal. United played Arsenal. Yep. United should have won that game, but Arsenal won. Right? Arsenal parked the bus, but they won it. Nothing was said of Arsene Wenger. But last season's FA Cup final, United should have beat Chelsea. Chelsea parked the bus, but Chelsea won the game. Okay, but nothing was said of Jose Mourinho. Nothing was said of Arsene Wenger. What's the name of the coach last season again? Conte?
Conte. Yes, Conte.
So when the time when Mourinho sets his tactics, like say, okay, we have to sit back a bit. Straight away, you say like, I park the bus, you park the bus, Mourinho parks the bus and stuff. So I think it's a bit unfair to Jose Mourinho. At the same time, also looking at the video, I still think he has to take certain responsibility and the players as well, because I agree with what he said.
Wait, give me a second. And I think that I want to emphasize on the previous point. I think what you said just now, whenever Chelsea or Arsenal parks the bus, nobody says anything about it. Nobody says squat. But when Jose Mourinho does it, he gets noticed.
Yes.
And I think this is also something to do with the reputation of the club and the man. Because the man is someone that no matter where he goes, he's going to be put under magnifying glass. He could go to China and every single time they'll be talking about everything. And a club like Manchester United, even if you sign the smallest player, they'll hype him up like nobody's business. So you add these two elements together, so everything he does. Yeah,
that's like for me, like Mourinho bringing his tactics into his personal philosophy, it was never the right fit. I felt it was never the right fit. Yeah, he will win you trophies. It was proven. He won 3 trophies. If you count the Community Shield, and he brought us to another final also as well. We should have won. He will win you. It's a proven fact. Wherever he goes, he wins trophies. But with the philosophy United and also with the mentality of the players that United have, it doesn't go gel well with Mourinho. Because he made a point. Did he fight Robben? No. Did he fight with other players like Zlatan? No. Did he fight with let's just say Lampard? No. Did he fight with Terry? No. So all of this, did he fight with Ronaldo? No. So all of this is, he was saying that like when it comes to United, he had a problem with Paul Pogba. So sometimes I think the players need to take into account their own responsibility as well. I'm not discounting that Jose Mourinho doesn't have to take responsibility, because yes, there were times that he made it more about himself, like trying to save his face, and you felt sorry for the guy when he was trying to do that, because but at the same time also like both sides has their points to prove, but both sides has to, I think, be more mature in the sense that they are at fault at certain ways also as well. I feel.
Okay, but and given that you were talking about Jose Mourinho's responsibilities, now let's bring it to what is his responsibilities, because you were mentioning earlier before this podcast started that Sir Alex Ferguson is a kind of manager that manages the club through and through, not just the squad. He even signs the tea ladies' paychecks and stuff like that. Now, whereas when you talk about someone like Jose Mourinho, one thing he said that the club has to have a system. And I think that in a way, since Alex Ferguson left, that he has less this chasm, because since he does everything, he is the system. But once he leaves, the system goes out with him. He hires Ed Woodward and all that to take over. And I think Mourinho is the kind of guy that perhaps wants to just focus on the tactics and the transfers, whoever comes in.
Yeah.
I think that in terms of looking after the players' emotions and stuff, like
Yeah.
people say that there wasn't much communication. Whereas I think that even in the interview, he says that I shouldn't be the one who looks after everyone's mood, you know.
Yep.
It should be up to the club in a way, the system and stuff like that, to look after them. So how do you feel that he just wants to be delegated this role? I focus on tactics, I focus on the style we play, then everything else, bugger all, the club decides on that.
I kind of agree, because I think in a more football, you see United is still kind of after the Ferguson era ended, it's kind of still trying to evolve into a more modern of how the football structure, because before this was always Ferguson. So right now with Ed Woodward coming into play also as well, with the commercial side of it, I've had Mourinho trying to do this as well. So there was going to be, you know, like the positive and negative and negative and negative and positive trying to go ahead at each other. So I kind of agree with him in the sense that where a better system should be in place. Because I think why he said that was a dig more to Ed Woodward. Because Ed Woodward didn't do what Mourinho wanted him to do. But at the same time, Ed Woodward said, I don't answer to you, I answer to the Glazers. So yeah, I agree with Mourinho and say, like, you know, that there should be a system. It was going against him what he wanted to do with the club. So I kind of agree with him in that sense. So but yeah, I would still say, like, you know, like United and Mourinho should have done things differently also lah.
It's shared responsibility,
Yes.
in terms of the downfall of United for that period
Yeah.
of time lah. Okay, and this last nugget, you know, what he said, you know, he said that there was last time when Ferguson just straight up sacked David Beckham,
Yeah.
you know, because he felt that there's no player bigger than that
Yes,
club.
exactly.
But recently, you know, when Juventus signed in Ronaldo, within a few short weeks, they just made back all the money in terms of ticket sales. I mean, jersey sales. You know, so now whenever you sign a big player, you sign a Pogba, you sign a Sanchez. He may not be as big as the club, but he is in a way comparable size to the
Yeah.
club. So how do you feel about, you know, that?
Well, let's put it this way lah. Ferguson is the only manager that can get away with shit like this lah, where Mourinho can't, because Ferguson has been there for ages. Even till today, David Beckham says that when he meets Ferguson, he hides his wine glass or he hides his beer bottle, because why? That level of respect they have towards this person, which I don't think Mourinho commands the same amount of
He
respect.
doesn't want to. I
Yeah.
think he just wants to, you know.
You know, like, I agree with the sense that no player should be bigger than the club. You know, like, at the end of the day, the club must come first. You play for the badge in the front, not you don't play for the back, the name on the back,
yeah.
the name on the back. But that's where I said earlier that players sometimes need to take responsibility. That's what I don't like about today's players, whereby they are too pampered, they become millionaires too quick.
Their
And,
wages are way too
yeah,
high.
their wages are way too high, and they get spoiled. You know, like Jesse Lingard launching his designer brand a few days before the Liverpool game. We say, like, come on, launch it before Swansea or Crystal Palace, but don't do it before Liverpool, the biggest game of the season. You don't want to do that. So
But do you think that there's something wrong even that players have the confidence to launch their own designer brands?
There's no problem doing that. Trust me. There's always a good point to do something outside of football, because it sets you after your career.
Okay.
There's no point. There's no problem with that. My problem is, it's Liverpool. You know.
Okay.
Concentrate on that first, can or not? Either teams want to do it. You want to do it against Arsenal. You want to do it against Chelsea. But it's Liverpool. Your
I think
arch
Arsenal
rival.
also, you
Yeah.
better give some respect.
Yeah, I say, like, but still, it's Liverpool. It's our arch rivals. You want to do it at any other Tom, Dick and Harry team, it's fine. But it's Liverpool, you know. Concentrate on that first, lah. So that's why it kind of ticks me off a bit, where this new group of new breed of players, whereby this social media savvy, I call it the Instagram era, let's put it that way, lah, whereby their social media following is more important than what they do on the pitch. That's what ticks me off something, because we grew up in an era whereby this all didn't exist. They didn't exist. You know, where we got our news from is Photo magazine, Match magazine,
The back of the newspaper.
the back of the Star paper, the Malay Mail, or that kind of thing. So this kind of things, it kind of ticks me off, whereby I kind of agree where that sense where Mourinho was coming from, because that's where I really say, you know what, he was right. No player should be bigger than the club. But football has changed. Sadly, football has changed, whereby players can get away with a lot of things. Why? Because Paul Pogba's shirts is the third most bought shirt in the world.
Yeah, that's why we were talking about the commercial aspect in the previous one. Also.
Third most watched in the world, the biggest one in England, the third most watched in the world behind Ronaldo and behind Messi. Do you want to piss off your cash cow?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But if you pander to the cash cow, then you piss off your fans, which is what is happening in Arsenal fan TV all the time.
Exactly. You know what? But you see, like, okay, the core fans, you like me and you, the one that invest in our football club, there's more casual fans that will buy the jersey more than us core fans. You know?
Because we'll buy the jersey once, but if you pander to a lot of those guys, they'll keep buying jerseys.
Yeah, they'll keep buying irregardless. Oh, Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
They don't really see again, but say, oh, Paul Pogba, he's good. I buy a jersey. You know, like, that's why the commercial aspect. So the reason why Ferguson, okay lah, at that time also, I cannot compare it when Ferguson sold Beckham, because Beckham at that time was our cash cow also.
Okay.
Yeah, but Ferguson was smart in the sense that where I bring in this kid, his name is Cristiano Ronaldo. Trust me, he's gonna be bigger than David Beckham, which was true lah. Which was true. A stroke of masterclass lah, that one lah. But at the moment, at that point in time, I think it was more towards Ed Woodward calling the shots. He's like, we still need him. He makes a lot of money for us, because when we bought him for 80 million and we had Zlatan as well, we got Zlatan for free. But in 2 weeks we paid off the fee already, because of Zlatan's shirt sold. The number one sold shirt in the 2015-2016 season was the number one sold shirt in the world was Zlatan, and he outsold everyone and he paid for the bloody wages, his bloody fee. So the commercial side of it is we can't
ignore it anymore.
We can't ignore it already lah, because there's a reason why Manchester United is the most profitable club and the most valuable club in the world, because why of the commercial aspects also. But at the same time, you need to take sacrifices on pitch also, because sadly, and I speak about this passionately, that me and you, we care more about what's happening on the field. But it's about a business already. It's
something that's beyond us fans already.
Yeah, it's
because
beyond
they want
us
to get
already.
more people in.
It's about billboards. It's about how many followers you got. It's about how many clicks you have. So football has changed already dramatically. The food at McDonald's can suck, but people will still go to it. You know, that's the same thing also, bro. It's the same thing for football. Football also in the sense.
Okay.
So sadly, that's the way it is right now, lah.
Okay, but now there's things that I want to touch on, but we'll leave it for another kind of video. I think this is something we can discuss in depth. It's like, for example, is the commercial success bigger than the football itself? Because football, like now you have a team in the 6th position, but if you do well commercially, it doesn't freaking matter.
Yeah, that's the sad part, lah.
That's the sad part. But let's just talk about football, because that's what we love.
Yeah.
Last one, man, we'll keep this one short because I think we definitely ran the time on that one. We were both surprised when Arsenal not only beat Chelsea, but rather comfortably.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I thought it was a 1. You were the only one that
I said 3-2. I called even a 3-2. That means I didn't expect them to win comfortably.
So
You called it a 1-1.
Yeah, I called it a 1-1, but I think for 20 minutes Arsenal played superbly. I think so. For 20 minutes they played really well, which begs the question: why can't they play like that every fucking game?
I don't get it. They won't play like that against West Ham.
So what did your brother think of it when he watched the game?
Okay, now you all know Ben is my brother. But I think there was just this disbelief when I saw him. He was like, he didn't expect it, but he was just joyous to receive it. But I think in a way, you feel good when your team wins, but when you see them lose against the smaller clubs, and then you see them beat a big team, maybe you feel happy but not overly happy, like that kind of thing like that. It's like, so what? We're still in what spot? I don't even recall right now. Arsenal.
They're in fifth position.
We're in 5th position.
Yep.
So we're still not really even challenging a top 4, and we still have
City to come and win.
City to come, and then defensively we're still kind of shit. So like I think that there is happiness there, but it doesn't really last long, because Arsenal still has a lot of long-term problems. And you yourself said that Unai Emery has not even found his first 11 yet.
Which also brings us to the game this Sunday night, Monday morning to be exact, 12:30. Man City versus Arsenal. Even though they play midweek, so Arsenal plays midweek against Cardiff City. So I think that's 3 points over there already.
I'm hoping so lah.
I'm hoping so lah.
Arsenal.
So the big one coming this Sunday is Man City versus Arsenal. So
will we be able to predict that?
Yeah, you can predict that match on our Moobara app right now. So make sure you download our app on the App Store and also on Google Play. What do you think is going to happen?
Manchester City against Arsenal. I have a feeling that Manchester City is going to win, but as my predictions, I'm going to be hopeful. I'm hoping that Arsenal will grind it out to a 2-2 draw.
I think City will win it 3-0.
3-0.
3-0, yeah.
City
3-0 to City, comfortably they'll win it, and United will overtake them in the 5th position.
Okay.
So that's what I think. City will run ragged against Arsenal. Arsenal will be really found out in midfield. Man City will turn on the burner. Minimum, I say they will win by 3 because
Minimum
I think it's going to be a rout. I honestly.
You think it's going to be a mauling?
I think it's going to be a mauling. Arsenal might get 1, but City will get 3 or 4.
Okay.
Because this City team is that strong. When they turn on the burner, they are that strong and they are that magical to watch. So
and defensively, Arsenal can be, in shambles.
So I'm going for a 3-0.
And Hector Bellerin is also like injured now, so yeah, you got major blows to their defense.
So I think that's our
predictions.
Our predictions, and that's our episode for this week.
3-0 to City and hopefully 2-2.
2-2. Alright. So that's our episode for this week. So join us next week once again, because we're going to try a new format next week.
Oh, okay.
I'll look out for the episode lah. Look out for the episode.
Yeah.
Yep. We're going to reformat how the Moobara show is.
We won't say reformat lah. We'll try something new. Let's see whether that works.
Yeah, we see whether that works. Hopefully you guys stick around with us. Follow us on all our platforms, on Instagram, on Facebook, and also follow us on YouTube and Twitter as well at Moobara app. And download our app as well on the Google Play and also the App Store. This is Eriton
and Casey
signing off till next week, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.
Predict the score on our featured matches for a chance to win cash prizes. Play, watch and win with Moobara.